Welcome back to part 2. The project just as we left it, saved on the previous video. Before we go any further, let's look at the files that are created. Created this KDEnlive demo folder, which created a folder for cache files. It was one of the options in creating the new project. Project is where we save our actual file, and source is our collected material. So I've added an audio file. Now we're going to add some music later, so I just brought that in. Demo.KDEnlive, this is where we saved all our info into this file. Cache is where the project creates its own files. In the audio thumbs, these are the little icons on the ends of the tracks. See if we can see them a little bit. It gives you an idea of what tracks what in your projects. So what we're going to do while we're here, just bring this audio clip into our project bin and save. So what we do first is make a little bit of a softer introduction and add a title. So use this move spacer bar there, create some space, and then on this, back to select that, and then go to effects. I've added in some of my favourite effects that are in this overall list of effects there. So I use position and zoom. We'll be using that. I'm not using transform. Fade in, fade out for audio, gain for audio, mute for audio, volume keyframeable. We'll use that later. And fade in for image, fade out for image. So double click on that, and then we've got fade in there to this. So it just sort of gives it a gentle introduction there. Also, I think I'll do that with the sound as well. Okay, so made a start. Let's add a title clip. Text options here. Like most of the programs, I'm just going to call it road trip. What we do, we use these center buttons. Click on OK, and we've got road trip title bar there. Drag that down, and with that selected, I'm going to add a fade. It used to be called fade from black. So I'm going to add a fade out as well. What I'm going to do as well is extend this sound so it comes in before the video. See how that goes. Yeah, a little bit of tweaking, a bit. I want that coming in a bit earlier. There's a little bit of hesitation as it goes over that line. That should be okay. On rendering it smooths out a lot of these little glitchy things. I have a slow computer, so it's a lot more noticeable on mine. Next then, this joins with a bit of a abrupt transition. So we've got an overlap now, and this is to soften the transition. But you notice here, this top track dominates the other one, it obscures the other one. So it doesn't really do anything by itself. But if you click on there, there's a little transition called wipe. And it kind of softens it. In the old version it's called dissolve. So it softens that transition, make that a bit. I'm going to make it a little bit longer. Got this horrible noise down here, you don't need that. What I'm going to do is mute it. You can ungroup these two clips and then delete that if you wanted, but I'm just going to mute it. Right, that's muted. Just going from the beginning to the end really on this. You've got this noise intruding here. I'm going to fade that out. See how much we need. Okay, save that. Right, next then, let's drag this in. Add a wipe transition there. Let's overlap this while we're at it. A wipe. And a wipe over here. See what we've got. Okay, I think this is a bit long, this bit. I'm going to shorten that. Okay. Yeah, I'm happy with that. Don't need this audio track. I'm just going to mute it. I'll mute this one too. Yeah, poor old computer. I think I need a new one. Right, pretty boring without any sound. We have no more audio tracks, so let's add one. Insert track. I notice on this version it's got an AV track, so I'm not sure if that's a combined audio video track like it used to be on the old ones. But we just need audio track. There we go. And then got some royalty free music here. Let's get that down. The deal is you can use it for free as long as you give a credit to bensound.com on this track. Similar with other vendors. Bit loud. Let's take the gain down a bit. With this highlighted clip, you've got this effect composition stack here, and you just work with it. So let's scroll it down 50%. Bit more. 40, there we go. I think the music will be better coming in when the engine's fading down. So, about there, and add a fade in. See what happens. Track goes on for quite a long time. See what the ending sounds like. It's possible that you can cut a bar and splice to an end bar, cut all the middle stuff out, but we're not going to do that. It's only for a demo. So I'm just going to drag that, shorten it. Could have zoomed out. There we go. Put a fade out. Extend the duration a bit so it starts fading out as soon as it comes to the image. Be nice to put an end on there, like a thank you or something. So add title clip. That'll do. Okay, put that down. I'm going to fade it out, but give it some length to fade out into. Image fade out. And on this one, image fade in and fade out. So it ends like this. Didn't do it, did it? So fade out. A little bit of a slow transition, but you can play around with that. I'm not going to bother with that. That's good enough for me. So let's have a look. That'll do. Okay, final thing. You might notice on the image it's got borders top and bottom, and on the video got borders left and right. We'll deal with them with position and zoom. What I want to do on this as well is get less of the road and more of the lake. Start at the beginning. Position and zoom. So here we have the position and zoom. These things here are keyframes, and they mark all the way along the clip, so you're able to steer the screen around the view. So what I'm going to do is find fit to width. There we go. Yeah, that's good enough. It's on this keyframe that you probably won't see if I click on that. Yeah, it's obscured, so it gets a bit tricky to see some of these sometimes. On second thoughts, I want to see more of the handlebar there. So just grab this centre bit to start with. That sets the beginning there. Let's line the edge up and then add a keyframe here. And totally centre it, so the view is scrolling up a little bit. So here it goes. So you see the dashboard. On to the next one. Highlight it. Position and zoom. Fit to width. keyframe, and zoom in. Sometimes this arrow disappears out the side of the screen and it's hard to get back. See, it's gone now. But an easy way to do it is just to center using the icons. What I'm after is the view of the lake. So let's see what that. You notice that the final bit of that clip, it wavers a little bit. So I just want to correct that. You can use a scroll button to go backwards and forwards. So add a keyframe for stabilization. And go forward. Add another one. And realign. That'll do. So it's a little bit more stable. It doesn't move to the right so much. You can play around all day with that. I have. You leave it where you want, but I want a little bit of the bike in there to give it a little bit of immediacy, intimacy, whatever you call it. So there the border's gone. Nothing to zoom in on really on those. And the final scene, this is actually from the Andes rather than the East Coast. Top and bottom. I think what I'll do here is zoom in and then zoom out. My little Yamaha 125 across the Andes. Images can really add something to a video because you quite often got a lot of nice scenes that you don't catch on video, so you can include them in the video editor. So this is my start point. I'm 185% zoomed. Add a keyframe. Fit to top to bottom, fit to height, center. Move the keyframe along so it gives a slow transition. Let's see what we got. It's still moving into the fade. I think what I'll do, fiddle around, just let it stop before you see it disappear. Only just. So let's have a look. If you want full screen, monitor, and switch monitor full screen. And there we are, that's that done. So it's not quite finished. I haven't saved for a long time. Click on save. You go to render when you're happy with your video. And you get various options, not going into them. Full project, let's do the full project. Output file, KDEnlive demo, cache. It will go in the cache. I want it into the project really. Render to file. Depends on the speed of your computer. This can take quite a while. Okay, it's finished rendering. I had to switch off OBS desktop recorder, and then it took 16 minutes. So I'm going to upload the MP4 to YouTube, and then you can see how it compares to the jumpy experience we were having when we were editing. It doesn't really matter during the editing, it only matters after the rendering. So thanks for watching. That's the end of these two videos. Feel free to browse some of my adventure. I'm in Argentina at the moment. I've been a couple of years in South America. Just keeping myself busy while in quarantine.